Do you know that most riches are often the ones who start from scratch? Yes, you have heard that right. It does not matter if you are an ordinary person barely making the ends meet. So today's success story is basically about how you can be one of the richest people in your town with the right mindset and savvy financial strategies. Welcome to Wealthy Pace, the source of inspiration for future billionaires. Nobody wants to live a frugal life. The good thing is that wealth has nothing to do with your previous economic background as long as you are determined to change your life and circumstances. Though everyone dreams of being successful, only a few get to relish the taste of success. Many people give up on their dreams due to the lack of perseverance or momentary distractions on their journey. But the good news is that nothing can stop you from achieving those lofty goals if you are honest and sincere about your cause. Today's video will remind you of Walt Disney's famous saying, "If you can dream it, you can do it." So today, I have come up with a success story of an ordinary man who started from beneath the line of poverty to the mighty $1 Million Club. Sounds interesting, right? Before I further dive in, make sure you are subscribed to this channel where I almost daily come up with videos that will change your life for the better. So let's jump right into today's success story. This is the story of David, who achieved the big number of $1 million with a meager investment of a few $100s. But how did David make this huge sum of money? Well, the simple answer would be his dedication to the art of investment. In this video, I will walk you through the 3 stages from which David passed and achieved his unbelievable goal of $1 million. Although David started as a dishwasher, his fortune went through the roof through his financially savvy decisions and bold steps to make his own way. From an initial investment of about $100, David expanded his street food business to a broad spectrum of restaurant chains all over the US. If that is not a success story, what is? Well, my friend, I have much more to tell you. So here are 3 stages in which David achieved financial freedom starting from scratch. Stage 1. $0 to $10,000. So the main impetus behind David's struggle to achieve the mighty goal of joining the Millionaires Club was his penniless background and his great ambitions. David had to accept the fate of a high school dropout to make some earnings. He started making a meager sum of money for dishwashing and other trivial jobs at restaurants. Like everyone else in the struggling phase, David too was trying hard to save some pennies. But events took an unexpected turn in David's life. So you know how every successful person suffers a setback or two during the early years of struggle. David's experience was no different either. While he used to work as a dishwasher at a restaurant, an acquaintance of David's offered him a significant raise in pay if he was willing to work for him. To David's bad luck, he was lured by his acquaintance only to be robbed of all his savings along with his dreams of getting a pay raise. This incident made one thing clear to poor David: he had to make his own way in the tough world outside. So this was definitely an inauspicious start to David's entrepreneurial journey, but guess what? David was not one of the quitters, nor was it an option for him. Instead, he learned a valuable lesson. David learned that he had to do something on his own without relying on others. This realization changed his mindset, leading him to embark on an exceptional journey toward making a huge fortune of $1 million. So David kept working as a dishwasher at a local bakery. The good thing was that David was now able to make some good savings, thanks to his extra efforts in part-time jobs. In the next 2 years, David picked up different jobs at various restaurants and tried to save as much money as possible. The famous words, "Where there is a will, there is a way," suited David in the best manner possible. So after about 2 years, David made enough money to start his own business of selling street food. Still a humble beginning, but a great start for this future millionaire. David rented a hand cart and bought some utensils, a stove, and other basic ingredients required for making hot dogs. The best thing about David's food was that he was very particular about cleanliness and quality, which distinguished David's shop from other roadside eateries, attracting more and more customers in a very short time. Soon enough, David's hot dogs were selling like hotcakes. The business was booming, and soon, David was making good profit from his food street business. He even managed to rent out a small space to prepare ingredients for hot dogs. You guessed that right. This was just the beginning of David's successful journey of entrepreneurship. His total net worth was now at approximately $10,000, making him reach the second stage of his journey. Stage 2. $10,000 to $100,000. After a couple of years, David leased a small space in the same locality and opened a small shop-cum-restaurant that was soon to become an asset for David. The atmosphere of change in his financial situation was observed in the starkest manner when David hired 2 people as workers in his shop. The restaurant was frequently visited by college students who became friends with David in no time. They helped David to get new recipes that were innovative and delicious in their unique way. So David now began to experiment with different kinds of hot dogs, whilst adding other food items to the menu list. In a short span of 2.5 years, David had managed to add more than 100 different food items to the list, making the outlet popular among food lovers across the town. Meanwhile, the little shop that David had built continued to expand, generating more and more revenue for the once poor dishwasher. The total net worth of David had reached almost $100,000. Now David dreamed of opening more outlets for his famous restaurant. Above all, David wanted to open an outlet in suburban malls. However, he was repeatedly turned down as the space was reserved for big food giants like McDonald's and Kentucky Chicken. Stage 3. $100,000 to $1 million. To David's luck, a new mall was decided to be opened up in his vicinity. Its management team and staffers had often dined at his restaurant, so they were friends to David. They offered this lucky man to set up an outlet in the mall, to which David happily agreed. David's famous hot dogs brought immense popularity to his restaurant, resulting in mushroom growth of the outlets in different cities. In 4 to 5 years, David's restaurant got its own brand logo. Today, David is the owner of a restaurant chain in different cities. The business that started with a few $100s has now a net worth of more than $1 million. All thanks to David's belief in continuous investment in quality that generated huge profits, making a poor dishwasher join the Millionaires Club. So that was all from today's video. Proceed to this video where I talk about the best assets even better than cash you should invest in.